What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back in with a new video, and today it is time that we do a post-mortem of the Trump town hall that happened last night. And to say that it was entertaining is an understatement. That was quite possibly the greatest town hall I have ever witnessed. I thought Trump was going to be good, but oh my goodness. This is quite possibly the closest we've gotten to Trump 2016 in some aspects. I'm not saying the entire thing was perfect, but I would say 90% of it was, I would say, basically perfect. It was entertaining and, well, just let Trump cook, mostly. Now, before we continue today's video, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the Twitter accounts in the description down below, guys. Go follow Real American Politics on Twitter. It is a great Twitter account to follow. Of course, follow the Rumble page for exclusive content. And of course, join the channel today. Guys, just for $3 a month, you can join Real American, which is a phenomenal deal, as it helps support the daily content we all know and love. You love the daily content? Well, this is the best way to support it. So I hope and recommend you join the channel today. Alright, let me be clear. After last night, my assumption of Trump winning the nomination, I think it's certain. At this point in time, I don't see how DeSantis comes back from this. Team DeSantis is delusional. If they think that was a disaster for Trump, you're out of touch. All right, there's aspects that, yes, it may have hurt Trump a little bit, but the rest of it, I argue it helped him. So let's go over what they're saying. So Team DeSantis is going around, and again, I'm not attacking DeSantis himself. I still think he's a great governor, and these attacks are nonsensical. But DeSantis' people, they're idiots. I mean, they're using leftist talking points about, January 6th, the chaos that ensued, and the fact that, he supports Russia and all that crap. It's like, what? So, yeah, Trump had a fascinating town hall. Now, there was one part of the town hall, well, actually like two or three, that I had some problems with. The first one was the election part. I'm not going to rephrase what Trump said. And here's my thing. CNN asked it. All right, they were the one that started it, so I'm not going to give Trump that much crap for it. But I still think he should have just said, look, we got to focus on 2024, and we got to focus on the fact this is the most important presidential election upcoming. And while I think things happen in 24, we have to focus on 24. All right, I should say what happened in 2020. But that's what he should have said. Now, he kind of backed off a little bit. He said, I'm not going to talk much about 2020 in 2024. And he said, I will concede in 24 if he did lose legitimately. Now, that's not me saying to YouTube. That's me quoting Trump. So, I do think that, it could have been better, but it's not this, like some people make it sound like it's the end of the world and all this other nonsense. Now, January 6th, this is when I knew immediately Trump was onto something. He said, I'm going to pardon a lot of people that were involved with January 6th. I mean, let's be real here. There were some bad people. Even Trump said it. There were some bad people that they should be thrown in prison. But there's a lot of people that they've been stuck in jail for, 3 years now? Without any sign of getting out, for just merely being there. There's a lot of people that are, in fact, like that. And they should be pardoned because it's nonsense what a lot of people are going through in this January 6th nonsense. And Trump called out the Ashley Babbitt stuff. The fact that, she got shot at point blank range by a loser. And, Trump called him a thug. I'm not going to get into that. But still, I mean, Trump in this part, I did like it. I wish he would have been a bit stronger saying, look, Tucker Carlson showed what actually happened, but he didn't, but, whatever. That's my one complaint about this. But he then pulled out the receipts, and that was the second I knew, Okay, we're cooking. Now, then we get to the Jean Carroll crap. This is the whole sexual assault stuff that happened in the New York, the state of New York with, he sexually assaulted her, which the evidence at best is murky. But either way, this was when Trump, he got some serious applause from it. He said, look, I didn't do anything. I never met her, and quite frankly, I wouldn't do it to her. That's pretty much what he said. I think that's actually what he said word for word, but don't quote me. And he said flat out, look, his polling numbers has gone up since this Carroll crap came up. And the nonsense with him being indicted. That is also true. And Trump continues to get stronger. The further away we get from the 2020 nonsense, this is where Trump really began to cook something up. He talked about, of course they brought up the Hollywood Access tapes. It's just like, why? Why do you bring this up now? And Trump answered pretty good. I can't take it back because it happens to be true. I said it's been true for a million years, approximately 1 million years, maybe a little longer than that. He said, he was talking about the fact that rich and powerful people, they can do it and get away with it. Now, again, I've always said this was a bad statement, and that was in 2005, I think he said it. But even then, it's like, Trump admitted to it. He said it was a bad thing he said, but he ain't wrong. He ain't wrong that he can't take it back because it's true. A lot of rich and powerful people do that. It sucks, but it was a good, counteract to what she was trying to push, the terrible moderator. I mean, that was atrocious. And then you had the debt ceiling reversal. So, this was one of the funnier moments of the debate. He flat out said, look, Trump said congressional Republicans should be open to the idea of the government defaulting as an outcome of the current debt ceiling fight. We might as well do it now because you'll do it later because we have to save this country. Our country is dying, he said. Then you get to one of the best parts. So why is it different now? Collins asked. Because Trump used it when he was president. And this is the thug life moment by Trump. Because I'm not president. I mean, this is Trump. Oh yeah, I'm not, Republicans should not do it because I'm not president. You see what I'm talking about? This is the Trump we need. And his take on abortion was another strong one. He said, look, I'm not going to guarantee anything until I get a bill on my desk that, proposes it, that everybody agrees with. That was smart. But then he talked about the Democrat part. And of course, Politico, they didn't, mention this. But this was the part of the town hall that I knew Trump won voters over. When he talked about how Democrats want abortion at the 9th month. That is exactly what you got to say. Look, the Democrats are the real extremists. They want abortion post-birth, like the clown in Virginia a couple years ago. That's perfect. And you notice, Democrats are completely silent on that part. In fact, the abortion topic, they virtually never talked about during this town hall. Because it damages them. No voter wants abortion at the 9th month, except like hardcore Democrats. That's it. And Trump hit the head on the nail. That, look, Democrats are the real extremists on abortion. I will support pushing to state rights and, I will support what the vast majority of Americans want. And that's to be determined. That's how you're supposed to say it. That is the best answer Trump said about abortion. And I have some problems with what he said about pro-life groups a couple months ago, but that is perfect. And yes, he said Dobbs was a great decision, but he said because it went back to the states and pro-life people have some leverage now. That was perfect. And then we have the Ukraine stuff. Now, there's one part of the town hall that I think is probably the famous part, but the Ukraine part. This was perfect. This was a 10 out of 10 answer. Do you want Ukraine to win this war? Collins asked. I don't think in terms of winning and losing. I think in terms of getting it settled so we stop killing all these people. Trump replied. I want everybody to stop dying, he added. How are people saying that's him shilling for Russia? It's like, no. It's none of our freaking business who wins. It's a matter of everybody should stop killing each other. We need to have peace around the world because we're getting closer and closer and closer to World War III. So it doesn't freaking matter who wins this. Let's be real. But too many people are dying because of this nonsensical war. And of course, some clowns in the Republican Party are attacking Trump for this. It was a perfect response. I mean, how can you say this is unpopular? The vast majority of people, they don't care. They just want the nonsensical war to end. That's the truth about it. And Trump, he's the only one that I can think could end it. Because, guess what? He's the only one that, he's tough enough to say, look, we're going to cut all your aid. We're going to, I guess you could say, I would say blockade, but embargo you and all that other stuff. But he's not dumb enough to, put troops on the ground like some Republicans want and most Democrats now. This was a perfect answer. He's the only presidential candidate that could end this war in 24 hours. You think he's joking? It would probably end the second he gets inaugurated because both sides, they don't want to deal with Trump because he would stop all the aid and then suddenly the war will halt and he would work out a peace deal because that's been Trump's biggest thing, peace. I mean, that's one of his biggest accomplishments, and that's his strongest thing, in my opinion, going to 24, foreign policy. He just has to talk about how the Middle East became way safer under him. Yes, he was tough. He bombed some clowns that deserved it, but guess what? Iran never, retaliated like the Warhawks claimed. It was perfect. It was way safer, and the Middle East was somewhat more stable. Now it's back to where it was. But the best part of this entire town hall was when he quoted something he said from 2016 to this clown that was a moderator. You are a nasty person, I'll tell you, Trump remarked. You see, this was perfect. When she kept going on and on about some nonsensical part of the Presidential Act, or whatever it's called, I think it's the Presidential Records Act. She kept going on and on about that, and how there's certain parts of law that doesn't exist. Even though we went on live stream the show, none of what she was saying was actually in the law. Either way, Trump responded with that, and that was perfect. She finally shut up after that, and you heard a massive applause when he did that. So overall, this is a pretty good town hall. Now, a couple issues I have was dealing with the election stuff, though. That's not necessarily his fault completely, because CNN brought it up. And probably guns. They didn't mention this article, but his gun response was, ugh. I did not like the first half. But I did like the fact he focused on mental health. Though I don't like what he said about, certain things should be banned. I did not like that whatsoever. Either way, it was overall a very good town hall that shocked a lot of people. And any Democrat with a brain knows, yeah, he won this. This was a victory for Trump. Because the crowd, surprisingly, was fairly even. They were fairly balanced. They asked them serious questions. It was CNN that asked them the January 6th nonsense, or I should say the election stuff. There were some people that asked about, would you pardon January 6 people? And yeah, I would say that was overall fairly solid. Actually, one of the best town halls Trump could have given in that situation. Now, how will this impact 24? I think it helps with the nomination, and there's some aspects like the abortion stuff that may help Trump with independence. But I think if this does lead to one thing, if this is the Trump we get in 24, he's winning re-election. If you focus on what matters, focus on peace around the world, focus on a real economic growth, not what Biden claims to be economic growth. Focus on, look, I'm not going to ban abortion until we get a consensus agreement on the issue. Focus on that, federally at least. And that's it. That is how Trump wins. And this, most of it, was what Trump needed. He got the crowd on his side, and most people that watched it agreed that was a victory for him. The only people that don't think it was the DeSantis people, but they're so out of touch at this point, it's not even funny. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the Twitter accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Thank you so much. Godspeed to all of you.